Hi all, Plantside Agent here. Today I'm going to answer a comment as to whether the titanium alcohol stove will fit inside or nest inside the Stanley Cook Sets. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, let's get started. I had a comment on my last video where I took a look at this titanium alcohol stove, and by the way, I'll leave a link to that video in the description if you're interested in chasing it down. But he wanted to know whether this would fit inside of the Stanley Cook Set. So I decided, well, I didn't know, so I got out my cook sets and took a look, and I thought, well, I might as well just make a video in case somebody else is also curious about that. So let's get started. I'll start with the original Stanley Cook Set, which we're all familiar with, or at least most of us. So we'll take a look at that. Oops. Open it up. This particular one I only have one cup because I've already used the other cup for another cook set. But anyway, so let's go ahead and again, this alcohol stove does fold up the legs and the pot stand, so it gets relatively compact. So, and here's everybody's wanting to know, with one cup in the pot, set it in here, and the answer is it'll fit in there, but it won't go all the way down to where you could actually secure the lid. So that answers that question, and the reason for that is that the diameter of the cup, this is just a little bit too wide, so it doesn't really want to go down in there at all. So it just sets on top, and it's just a little too high for right here. So that answers that question. You can't use it with the cup, but it will fit down inside the pot quite nicely. So if you don't want to use the cup, the Stanley cup, for your cook set, then you can carry this in there. And it probably has room too, if you wanted to undo these wings. If you had like a smaller bottle of alcohol, you could probably set that down in there. Probably just about all different sizes. And then that will, oops, it will fit. It'll fit down in there. I don't know if you can get a bigger one in there or not. Probably doesn't look like it. So this is a 2-ounce bottle. So you could carry some fuel or any number of other things with it too. A lighter, yada yada, whatever you can cram in there. But the basic question is, yes, it will nest in the pot. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the new Stanley Cook Set. It's a little bit about the same, just a shy shorter, and it's wider. If you haven't, I did reviews on this. I'll go ahead and on these two pots, this one, and I think compared the two. I'll put those videos in the description too if you want to chase those down. So anyway, so let's see how it works in the new and improved Stanley Cook Set. And I was hoping that since the cups in the new Stanley are a little bit bigger, that this might work, but the answer is a little bit. You can get about, well, almost, it looks like about 2/3 of the stove in there. So you can't use it with 2 cups, but you can use it with, you can get 1 cup in there and the burner, and obviously plenty of room from the top of the trivets or pot stands. So that you can get a cup and a stove in the newer Stanley Cook Set, which if you're late to the game, these are probably the only ones you're going to find, so you're okay. If you can find some of the older ones, or like most of us have the older ones, then you're out of luck. So anyway, that's answers that question. Oh, and of course, if it fits in with 1 cup, it'll obviously fit in the pot itself, since this one is wider. So that's that question. The other thing I thought I'd wondered about was how if it's going to fit on the stove, sit on the pot stands. I'm staying in focus. I'm blocking the view with my hand. Yeah, because as we know, the Stanley, the original is kind of narrow, and oftentimes won't fit a lot of different type of pot stands. Just for an example, here's a Trangia knockoff setup, and it's just too narrow. It just won't rest on this unless you come up with some other little adapter nails or something to raise it up so you can set it on here. And that's kind of a problem with a lot of different burner types, say like your Esbit style. Yeah, I guess it would work, but it's a little sketchy. But just a side note about this being a little narrow, and it can be problematic depending on the stove. So let's go ahead and see how it looks on this. And it looks like it'll work. If we look close, yeah, there's just a couple of, it's on, can we got this in the right angle? You can see there's a couple of notches on there. And I think you can probably do pretty good about not spilling it over. So anyway, so it will work. And of course, the wider base won't be an issue at all. So can you see that? There you go. So that's probably a good thing. Is this will make a nice kit for your especially your original Stanleys, because you won't be able to use the cup, but a lot of people don't use these cups anyway from all the myriad of videos I've seen on this Cook set. but so I think it'd be a good combination for if you want to build a Cook set around this new titanium alcohol stove. By the way, this sucker is really good. It's very fast, very efficient. So it's a nice little stove. Actually, I'm pretty happy with it. But that's another topic. That was from the last video. That's all I can think. If you guys ever have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the comments. And if it sparks my curiosity also, I'll go ahead and probably do a video on it. I've had quite a few videos based around questions that people have had. So anyway, that's all I can think of right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.